So hello everyone, let's start with one of the most important topic of quantitative aptitude, that is ratio. Okay, and concepts of this topic will be widely used in different topics of quantitative aptitude. So let's begin with the ratio. So if we just see this topic, along with this topic, we also study proportion, and post this proportion, we study problem based on ages and partnership. Okay, so we'll be first starting with the ratios, then we'll be discussing about the rest of topics. Okay, so if we just see about the definition of ratio, then what it used to be, like we call ratio is the simplest form of the fraction, simplest form of fraction. Let's suppose if I'm saying that we have a fraction, let it be 25 by 20. This is a fraction. So this can be further written as 5 by 4. By cancelling both of the numerator and denominator by 5, we are getting this. So this particular form is called the ratio, which is 5 by 4, and this can also be written as 5 ratio 4. So this is the symbol of the ratios. And it is also used for the comparison between two things or two or more things. So that's how we write by the symbol of the ratio. Now in general form, I can also write a by b. So this is the form of a ratio where a and b will be nothing common. It means there will not be anything which will be common factor, we can say, between a and b. So that will be in the simplest form. Okay, now just understand this concept by a question. If I'm writing here, let's suppose if I'm writing a question here, that strength of a school is 600. Okay, this is the strength of a school, and out of this 600, the number of boys are 350. Total strength of school is 600, boys are 350 in number, and they have asked us a ratio, like find the ratio of girls to boys. So this is the ratio we need to find out. Okay, now it is very clear to us that the total strength of the school is 600. Out of this 600, the boys are 350. Okay, then obviously it's quite obvious the girls will be 250 in number. And when we have to find the ratio, then we can see here that they have asked us initially about the girls. So those are 250 in number. And then from girls to boys, so those boys are 350 in number. So that's, we can say the zeros will get cancelled, and ultimately we'll be having 25 by 35, and this can be further written as 5 by 7. So this is the ratio of the question which is being asked from us. What would be the ratio of the girls to boys? So that would be 5:7. So this is our answer. Now let's understand by one more example of the question. Let's suppose if you're saying that a sum of money is distributed among A, B, C, D. So these are the four people, A, B, C, and D. So we are distributing some amount of money among all these four persons. And when we are distributing among these four-person, that is in some ratio, in ratio of 9, ratio 5, ratio 8, ratio 3. Okay, so this is the ratio. Now if B gets some amount, let it be 16 rupees more. If we get 16 rupees more than D, then how much C, then the money received by, find the money received by C. Okay. So for such kind of problem, how we can do this question? We are writing first the first four people like A, B, C, and D, and they are in money is distributed among these four people in a ratio, that is 9 ratio 5 ratio 8 ratio 3. So this is the ratio of the four people A, B, C, D. Okay. Now as per question, they have given us like C, B is getting more than D. Okay, B is getting more than D. So like it was 3 here. So we can see here that B and D in terms of units, let's suppose like how we were doing such kind of problems initially, mainly in our school time, we were doing like this. Like we were taking let the amount of A which was distributed to, which was given to A, that is 9x. For B it is 5x. For C it is 8x. For D it is 3x. Okay. Now we are aware that there is a relation which is given between B and D. So as per this relation, we can write here that 5x minus 3x will be equivalent to 16, because that's what they have given to us, that the B is getting more than D by 16 rupees. And that's how we wrote here. And the difference of this will be 2x, and that will be equivalent to 16. From here we can say x will be 8, and that will be further substituted. And if we have to find out the C, then we can write that C is 8x. So that's, we can write like 8 into 8, that will be 64 rupees will be our answer. Okay. But this is the conventional method that we were doing earlier, but we were trying to just write in a somewhat different form, because we need to get answer faster or quick, or in a lesser time. So how we can see for the same problem, we will be seeing that in terms of units, I will say that A is 9 units. The amount of money which was given to A, that is 9 units. For B it is 5 units. For C it is 8 units, and for D it is 3 units. Now what I will be writing here, see, I will say that difference of this 5 and 3, which is 5 minus 3, which is 2 unit. So I will say this 2 unit itself is equivalent to x. Okay. So this method is quite similar to the conventional method, but there is a slight difference, because we are not considering here x like 5x or 3x. We are just talking in terms of units, and that's the same kind of things we'll be talking in the whole aptitude, because that saves our time. Okay. So I am saying this 2 unit is equivalent to 16 rupees. So thus I can say 1 unit will be equivalent to 8 rupees. And if I have to find out for C, so that is again 8 units. So if 1 unit is 8 rupees, therefore for C it is 8 unit, and that will be equivalent to 8 into 8, that will be 64 rupees. So this is the answer. This is what the money that C will be getting, that is 64 rupees. Okay. So this was the question number 2 for us, which which will build the concepts of this ratio, that how we talk about units and how we solve like when the difference of the condition would be given to us. Let's discuss concept, new one more concept of this. So let me erase this first. So here, let's suppose if any question or in any condition, if this thing is given to us, if A ratio B is 5 ratio 3. Okay, that's what they have given us, that A ratio 3 is 5 by 3 or 5 ratio 3. So then we need to find here A plus B over A minus B. Okay, this is the one of the thing which we need to find out. Now for this kind of problem, like in a conventional method, again that I just discussed for the last situation, what we were doing earlier, like it was like I could also take let A as 5x, B as 3x. Okay, like we will not be doing this method is not preferable in aptitude, but I'm just writing here that how we were doing earlier in our conventional method. Okay, but here we'll be avoiding x because that is time consuming. Okay, now if I am writing here a is 5x, b is 3x, then I will be substituting this value in this particular fraction. So I will be writing, like instead of a I will be writing 5x, for b I will be writing 3x, while in the denominator I will be writing like 5x minus 3x. So solving this further, I will be getting 8x over 2x. So this x and x will get cancelled out, so I will be getting 4. So this is the answer, and even this is the exact value of the fraction which is being asked from us. Now the thing is that in our method of the aptitude, like how we approach such problem, like we do not write x at there. So how we write, like if I know that I have to find out this particular thing, like if I have to find out a plus b over a minus b, so what I will be assuming here, that I will be assuming a as 5 unit only and b as 3 unit only. Okay, and the same the thing will be written in the denominator. So how that will be writing in the denominator, I will be writing 5 minus 3. So solving this further, I will be getting 8 over 2. So that will be 4. So again 4 is the answer. Now why I am not taking here x, because ultimately I know that this x has to be cancelled out. So why I'll be taking out? Why I'll be taking this to make this calculation more complex? So rather than just assuming x, I'll be just taking up the value like a is 5 unit only, for b is 3 unit only, and then in the numerator if it is being added, so I will add the things like that, and same with the denominator. So I'll be getting 4. So that's what I am just saying. Even we do not go for assuming x when the ratio is given us. So instead of taking x, we just take the value in terms of unit only. Okay, that's what I have taken here. So my 4 is the answer. Now, just slightly change the situation or slightly change the question which is being asked from here. I'm just erasing this. So in the first part, this was the word I have to find out. Now I'm slightly changing the question. Like let's suppose if they would have asked us, like find out the a square plus b square, and in the denominator it is a square minus b square. So again I can take a as 5 directly. I can take a as 5 units. So I'll be writing here 5 square plus, for b it is 3 square, while in the denominator it is 5 square minus 3 square. So I'll be getting 25 plus 9 over 25 minus 9. So I'll be getting 34 over 16. Okay, and this can be further simplified into the ratio, that will 17 by 8. This is my answer. So I am not taking here x, I am taking directly that 5 and 3 for the respective values of a and b. If I would be taking x, so again I will be getting the same answer, but that used to be time consuming, because right now there is not much of difference in both of the methods, but more in more questions in future when we'll be doing related to this topic or to some other topic, then we'll see that this will be this particular method, like where we just consider units in terms of units, so that is preferable, or that will be quite time saving. Okay, now if for this fraction, if I am taking this a as 5x, so let's suppose like this 5x whole square, for b it is 3, so I'll be writing 3x whole square, while in the denominator I'll be writing like 5x whole square minus 3x whole square. So I will be getting answer here, that will be 25x square plus 9x square over 25x square minus 9x square. So I'll be getting here 34x square over 16x square. So this x square and x square will get cancelled again. I'll be getting the same answer. So that's why we should go for taking up x, because ultimately when we know both of the terms in the numerator and denominator, they both are of the same order, so we don't need to take x along with that ratio term. Okay, now slightly change this question, or slightly just see a one more variation of such kind of problem. So first it was a kind of a linear term, then we saw kind of a square term. Now let's see another term which is related to cube one, like a cube plus b cube over a cube minus b cube. Okay. Now for the same kind of problem, I will be doing like the same way. Like for a, I will be taking 5, just 5 only. No need to take x or 5x. 5 cube plus 3 cube over 5 cube minus 3 cube. So this will give us 125 plus 27 over 125 minus 27. So I'll be getting here 152, and well, for here it is 98. So this can be further simplified like 76 and over 49. So this is my answer. Okay. Again, if I would taking up x with that, so the x cube will be there, and ultimately that will get cancelled. Now, just consider one more problem. Let's suppose if it is like this: a cube minus a square over, then we have like a plus a square. Sorry, let it be, take it as b here. A cube minus b square, and then b plus a square. Now, for this kind of problem, the answer will be C and D, means cannot be determined. Why? Because order of the variables are different here. Here, this was linear, 1, 1, 1, 1. Here it was square, 2 were everywhere. Here it was a cube. But here, the order of the power, this order of the power is different. Like here it is cube, here it is square, here it is linear, it's a square. So we can't solve in this particular situation. And again, if we want a like confirmation or a verification of this approach, so we can take up the conventional method like 5x or 3x. And we consider a as 5x and b as 3x. So how are you doing? I can substitute. So for a, I'm substituting 5x whole cube minus 3x whole square over 3x plus 5x whole square. So this will give me 125x cube minus 9x square, and thus we have, this is 3x plus 25x cube. So this can't be solved further. And even the x terms which are in the numerator and denominator, they will not get cancelled as they were getting cancelled in the above these three cases. So here it will not cancel because ultimately we left with the x power. Even if you take out the x common, like if you take out the x common here, so 125x square minus 9x, while from the denominator if x will be taken common, 3x plus 3 plus only 3, 3 plus 25 x. So this x will get cancelled, but still we are left behind with the sum of the terms of the x, and we do not know the value of this x. So therefore, answer cannot be determined. The answer for this is C and D. Okay, let's move further. Okay, so let's erase this term. Okay, so I'm writing here one question. If A by B is equivalent to C by D is equivalent to E by F is equivalent to sum of the fraction, let it be 7 by 8. And in question, if it is given to us, then find PA plus QC plus RE over PB plus QD plus RF. So such kind of questions are also asked like from the ratio topic, where the this kind of data is given to us, and if they ask us that finds such ratio. So answer for this will be the same, which is given to us like 7 by 8. So how we should approach this such problem? See, I know that this is A here, so I can directly substitute here A as 7, like 7p. I can substitute for C is again 7, because these are the respective values of the respective ratios. For A, C and A, that is equivalent to 7 units. For B, D and F, that is equivalent to 8 units. So for C, I'll be writing 7Q. For E, I'll be writing 7 again, so 7R. In the denominator, I'll be writing, for B it is 8 now, 8P, and here it is 8Q and 8F. So 7 will be taken out common from the numerator, so I'll be left with the P plus Q plus R. While denominator 8 will be taken out common, so it will be P plus Q plus, here it will be yours, it will be R, because for F we substitute 8 here. So P plus Q plus R again. So this will get cancelled, I'll be left with this fraction. Okay, so this is how we can do. And if we just talk about the conventional method, we ideally that we do not have to follow, but just to make the concept clear, I am substituting here. I can also write like this, that if it is given to us, like I can consider this fraction as A by B is equivalent to 7 by 8. And if A by B is equal to 7 by 8, although C by D is also equivalent to 7 by 8, E by F is also equivalent to 7 by 8. While for the first part, if A by B is equal to 7 by 8, so by rearranging this data, I can also write A is equivalent to 7 by 8 times B. Okay, so that's what if I substitute here. So it will be something like this, that P into 7 by 8 times B. Further, Q will be same, and again if C by D is equal to 7 by 8, so I can write for C 7 by 8 times D. So this can be written equal to 7 by 8 times D. Similarly, P plus Q plus, then we have R. For E, I will be writing 7 by 8 times F. Now in the denominator, we will be having data like this only. PB plus QD plus RF. Now in the numerator, 7 by 8 will be taken out common. So I'll be writing like PB plus QD plus RF. And same kind of the data is in the denominator. So that will be PB plus QD plus RF. So this will get cancelled. Ultimately, we left with the 7 by 8 only. So this is the conventional method. We don't need to go longer for this problem. Okay. Although when we see here that there is a similar kind of things in the numerator and denominator. So rather than solving this way also, we can directly write the answer, because whatever the data of the fraction which is given to us, that the same will be the answer only. Let's move further. Now let's just understand on a concept that is a ratio inverse. Okay, so for any ratio, let's suppose if it is given to us P ratio Q, so that is equivalent to 3 ratio 2. Okay, if P ratio Q is equivalent to 3 ratio 2, so what will be the ratio? So for the ratio of P and Q that is given to us, so that is 3 ratio 2. And if someone asks us, like let's suppose find out the ratio of 1 by P or of ratio of 1 by Q. So this is the inverse ratio of the P and Q, where these terms get 1 by P or 1 by Q. So the answer will be 2 ratio 3. Okay. And again, how we can understand this concept, let's suppose if it is written 3 ratio 2, the same thing can be written as 1 by 3 ratio 1 by 2. So when we will simplifying this particular value, we will be getting this 2 ratio 3 only. Like if I write here like if this is 1 by 3 or 1 by 2, so I can multiply with the 6 on both sides, or I can multiply with the 6 to both of the parts, because 6 is the LCM of 2 and 3. So I will be multiply with the 6, so this will be like this: 6 multiply 1 by 3 and 6 multiply 1 by 2. So I will be getting here 2 ratio 3. So that is the same part. Okay, so this is how we have to do the inverse. If it is on the left hand side, if it is P and Q, so that on the right hand side, whatever the respective value of the ratio will be there, that will also get just 1 by that or reverse of that, because it is of this particular format, like 3 by 1 or 2 by 1. So that will reciprocate to 1 by 3 and 1 by 2. Now understand another case, like where it is given to us, like let's suppose A, B and C is in the ratio 1 ratio 2 ratio 3. Okay, and we have to find the inverse ratio of this A, B and C. So how this will be done? Like this will be done like A by 1 by A and 1 by B and 1 by C. So this can be again done like 1 by 1. This is already 1 by 1. This is 2 by 1. So this will be 1 over 2, and this is 1 by 3. Now the right hand side part can be simplified to get a more simplified ratio. So again this will be multiplied, every part will be multiplied by 6 to get a simplified ratio. So I'll be getting that 6 ratio 3 ratio 2. So this is the answer. This is the inverse of the A, B and C. Now rather than doing all this part, we have another method like by which we can find the ratio of the numbers. So how that is being used, like if this was given to us, like A, B, C were in the ratio 1 ratio 2 ratio 3, and when we have to find out the inverse ratio, like 1 by A, 1 by B or 1 by C, like when we are interested in finding out the first part, like 1 by A, so we will be hiding this part and we will multiplying with the rest of the other numbers. So what are the rest of other numbers? Like those are 2 and 3. They will multiply to give us 6. If we have to find out the ratio of this part, so I will be hiding this part and I will be multiplying with the rest of the number. Those are 1 and 3. So that will be 1 into 3 will be again 3. So I am doing multiplication. If I am finding out the inverse of this third part, so I will multiply with the first and second. So that will be 2 only. So that is again the same answer. So we don't need to go for this longer, that we'll be writing like in the inverse part and then we'll be multiplying with the LCM of the denominator and then we are cancelling this and then we are simplifying the answer. Rather than we can just do the second alternative part where, so whatever the respective part of the inverse ratio that I need to find out, I will be hiding that part and I will be multiplying with the rest of the numbers. Like for this first part, I will multiply with the rest of number 2 into 3, that gives us 6. For this part, I hide 2 and then I multiplied 1 and 3 to get again 3. For this part, 1 and 2 will give us 2 part. Okay. Now, let's just consider another case where the ratio of the speed is given to us. Let's suppose speed S1, S2 and S3. So these are the respective speeds. So that is in the ratio of 2 ratio 3 ratio 4. Okay. Now they can ask us that find the ratio of the time. And we know that in TSD, time speed distance, if distance is constant, then speed and time will be inversely proportional to each other. That's what we have learned, that like speed, the formula used to be d by t, distance by t. Now if d is constant, then speed and time will be inversely proportional to each other. So we need to find the inverse of the speed. So that's how we're doing, like the same way. Like for if I need to find out the inverse of the first part, I will multiply the rest of the two numbers. So that will give me 12, 3 into 4. If I have to find out for the second part, I will multiply 2 and 4. That will be 8. If I have to find out for the inverse of the third part, I will multiply with the first two numbers. Those are 6. This can be further simplified to give us 6, 4 and 3. So this is the ratio of the time, 6, 4 and 3. And we know that If distance is constant, then multiplication of speed and time will also give us the distance, which is constant. So in all of the three cases, we'll be getting the same distance. You can cross check from here. 2 into 6, 12. 3 into 4 again 12, and 4 into 3 again 12. So this 12 is getting, we are getting in all of these three cases, which is same. It means distance is remaining constant here. Okay, but ultimately we were just interested in finding out the inverse of the numbers. So if we have to find out the inverse of the speed, then we'll be getting the time. Okay, let's move further. Now I'm just erasing this part. Let's suppose if I'm saying that we have a ratio like 1 by 2, ratio 1 by 3, 3 by 4, ratio 5 by 6. So this is slightly different from the last one. There the ratios were like just linear number, like let it be, they were not in the fraction, it were like this, they were simple numbers. But here the ratio is already in some fraction, like this can be the value of something, let it be like a, b, c. And again, if this is being asked to us, find out the ratio of the a ratio 1 by b, or inverse ratio of this a, b and c, that's how we'll be writing. So how we can do here? Okay, now the thing is that how we can do here, like there in the just few minutes ago or few minutes before, when we were discussing about the inverse ratio, for the respective part of the inverse ratio that we were finding, we were hiding that, and then we were multiplying with the rest of the numbers. Okay, same we will be doing here. If I have to find out the inverse of this first part, I will be hiding this part, and I will be multiplying with the numerator of the other numbers. Okay, so those are 6 into 4, 24. And after multiplying the denominators of the respective parts, I will be multiplying with the numerator also, which is 1 here in the first case. So I will be multiplying, like I will be writing like 1 into 4 into 6. Similarly, for the second part, if I have to find out the inverse ratio of this second part, I will consider this 3, and I will leave this second part. I will multiply with the rest of the two parts, which are 2 and 6, and post followed by this will also multiply with the 3. So I have written it here 2 into 6 into 3. Now for the third part, if I have to find out the inverse of this third part, I will multiplying with the 2 and 4. So this will be like this, 2 into 4, and this further will multiply with the 5, which is the numerator part. So that's how we'll be getting answer for the inverse ratio of the three parts. So this will be simplifying to 24, and it can be give us 36 here, and further it will be here 40. Okay, so this is the inverse ratio of the three parts, okay, of the three numbers, three values which are for a and b and c. And again, this can be simplified like for 6, 9 and 10 by cancelling on the table of 4. So this was about the inverse ratio. Let's move further and let's discuss about the few more types. Okay, let's understand one more type of the concept. Let's suppose for any situation, if it is written to us like 2a is equal to 3b. Now, can we also write here a and b will be further written as 3 by 2? It means the ratio of a and b is 3 ratio 2. So this is the answer. Like we just rearrange that given data which was given to us. Thus we can write it here further, like it is. Let's consider another case of something different, like with the one more variable. If I am writing here 2a is equivalent to 3b, 2a is equivalent to 3b, 2a is equivalent to 3b is equivalent to 4c. Okay. Now for this case also we need to find the ratio of a, b and c. While for the two variables or the two terms, if this were a bit easier, while for three parts it becomes a more complex or slightly more difficult. So how we can do this? See, as the what is the shortcut approach? The shortcut approach is this: if we are finding out for ratio of A. So I will hide the A part and I will multiply with the rest of numbers. So those are 3 and 4. I will multiply the rest of the coefficients of the alphabets, like those are 3 and 4 for the respective B and C. So in order to find out the ratio of the A, I will multiply with the 3 and 4. Similarly, in order to find out the ratio for the B, I will leave the B part, I will hide the B part and I will multiply A coefficient of A and C. So those will be 2 and 4. Similarly for C, I will hide the C part and I will multiply the 2 and 3. So this will give us 12, 8 and 6. Further, this can simplify to 6, 4 and 3. So this is the ratio of A, B and C. So what can be the other approach except this? See, while for this we got the answer 6 ratio 4 ratio 3. But what can be the other approach? See, for a instant I can write 2A is equal to 3B. From here I can write A by B is equivalent to 3 by 2. Similarly, for considering the another case 3B is equal to 4C, I can say B by C is 4 by 3. Okay. Now I know that B is 4 here, while for B it is 2 here only. So I can make B same on both of the places. So how I can do that? I will multiply with the this fraction, multiply and divide with the 2. So ultimately I will be getting A is 6, B is 4, while for it is 4 here. So this thus we can get A, B and C as 6, 4 and 3. So this is the answer. For A, B and C, that is in ratio of 6, 4, 3. Okay. Okay, solve it. Just do it for another case. See, if the data is something like that, 3A is equal to 4B is equal to 6C is equal to 5D. Now again they can ask us find out the ratio of A, B and C, A, B, C and D, which are 4 different alphabets, and we need to find out the ratio of the all of the 4 A, B, C and D. So how we can do that? See, if we have to find out for A, I will hide the A part and I will multiply with the rest of parts. Like those are rest of the coefficient for 4, 6 and 5. So that will give us 120. Like I'm writing here in expanded form also 4, 6, 4 into 6 into 5. So this will give us 120. Similarly for B, I will hide the B part, I will multiply the rest of part 90. B is 90. For C, 12 into 5, 60. For D, it is 72. Okay, so this is my answer. So this is how we can just find out the ratio if the something like this, if the question is being asked. Now, let's move to the concept of the combined ratio. So, what is combined ratio? See, for some case, if it is given to us like that, A ratio B is 3 ratio 4. Okay. And another data is given to us that B ratio C is 1 ratio 2. Okay. Now, they can ask us that find out the ratio of A, B and C. Now, this similar kind of problem we just discussed in the last question. We were doing like there as A by B is equivalent to 3 by 4, and for here B by C is equivalent to 1 by 2. And we know that B is at the two places, so I can make, if it is 4 here, I can make the B as 4 in the second part as well. For that, I'll be just multiplying with the 4 and dividing with the 4. So I'll be getting 4 by 8. Okay. Now B is same at both of the places. So answer I will be getting A as 3 unit, B as 4 unit and C as 8 unit. So this is my answer. But what used to happen sometime, this method becomes complicated when we have to make same to both of the terms, or sometime it is like A ratio B, B ratio C or C ratio D. So it becomes more a difficult job to make common terms same everywhere. So rather than using this method, we can do some alternative method so that we can get the same answer or the correct answer. So how that can be done? See, There's a one method called, like, we can write A, B, and C. That's what we need to find out. So for A and B, I will be writing 3:4. For B ratio C, I'm writing 1:2. Now, whatever the space which are left blank here, we need to write just the adjacent number which is there. So if it is 4 here, I'll be writing 4 here. So at this blank space, I wrote the number which was just along with this. Again, if it is 1 here, I'll be writing 1 here. Okay, because this is the adjacent number which was with the blank space. Then we need to multiply this vertically this way. So this 3 and 1 will multiply, will give us 3. This 4 and 1 will multiply to give us 4. This 4 and 2 will multiply to give us 8. So this is what my the ratio of A, B, and C. That's what we calculated earlier as well. Apart from this method, some people use also reverse n method, and which is also a good one for this, where there are three terms like A, B, and C. How that reverse n method works? Let's see that. If I'm writing here that A ratio B is 3:4, B ratio C is 1:2. So how this reverse n method works? See, first, if I have to find out the A, so I will multiplying this way, 3 and 1. So this will give me 3. Like, the reverse n method works like this. For the first A, I will multiplying vertically, like 3 into 1 is 3. For B, I will multiplying this way, diagonally, 1 into 4, that will be 4. For C, again I will multiplying vertically, 4 into 2, 8. So this is my answer. Okay. While for the 4 terms, it's slightly different. While for the 3 terms, it is something like this n. And while this method is also a good one, which is, if it is, this is the case of 3, we wrote A, B, and C. Sometimes it becomes the case of 4, A, B, C, and D. So we'll be writing like this way. So only thing we need to take here, that whatever the less space which is left, we'll be writing the adjacent number which is there. Okay. So move it further. Consider a question here, that if they ask us that P ratio Q, if P ratio Q is 1:2, Q ratio R is 2:3, then we need to find P plus Q ratio Q plus R ratio R plus P. Okay. So in order to solve for this problem, we need to find out the first combined ratio of PQR. So for P and Q it is 1:2, for Q and R it is 2:3. While we can do it here, but again we know that Q is already same here, so I can take directly PQR as 1:2:3. This will work. While if you want to do like this, then you can write the just adjacent number along with the blank space. If it is 2 here, I will be writing 2. I will be writing 2. I will be multiplying here for getting the ratio of the corresponding part of the P. It is 2 here. It is 4 here. It is 6 here. So by simplifying this again, I will be getting 1, 2, 3, which I wrote here. So how we have to do? We need to write for P plus Q, it is 1 plus 2 unit. For Q it is 2 ratio 2 plus 3 ratio 3 plus 1. So this is 3:5:4. So this is my answer. Okay. So these were the some of the basic concepts of the ratios. So more what we can do, we can practice questions related to this ratio topic, so that used to be quite helpful. So let's meet with the new topic. So thank you so much for watching this video.